G'day, g'day, g'day. It's Mathematical KM here at the Australian National University after playing round 2 in the tournament. And I had the white pieces, so we got a white hippo. And hippo needs to smash harder, might be the theme of this one, as we will see. So let's quickly go. It's rough and ready, but these are the form of the videos we're going to get here. G6, he takes the centre, fianchetto, he gets the rest of the centre, bishop comes out, that's an automatic. He develops his other bishop, take that one away. No doubt I'll be taking that one away. Bit of prophylaxis all over the place. He's castled kingside. Get ready for my other fianchetto. He supports his D pawn with a pawn. Fianchetto my dark one, and he's going to make my dark bishop bite on granite, and there we go. So the centre is locked. I'm going to want to attack on the king side. He moves, develops his other knight, get one knight into the middle. He gets his queen out on the queen side. If I can do what I'm meant to do, then that's actually a good thing. My other knight into the middle. He looks like he wants to swing that knight around to the queen side. So if I can attack well enough on the king side and he's moving his pieces to the queen side, it should be good. Okay, so I've castled, which develops this rook for coming down here. He's continued to reroute that knight. And let's take a quick look. The computer is saying that the best move is the f4 pawn break. It'll settle down on that. And that's an advantage to white. So it played. He supports the pawn. Now the best thing for me to do is to swing a knight in behind to f3. Or even get the king off the same diagonal that's got that battery on it with king h1. That's even higher. Something to, remember for future games. Or play a4. A little bit of queenside space. What I wasn't meant to do was force him to improve that bishop by getting it where I want to attack. But c'est la vie, it's a little bit to black. But I do have the pawns coming down the king side, and for now all of his pieces are not in the G or H file. So here come the pawns, here comes his pawns. And at this point it's interesting that the top move for me to play would have been H4 to keep those pawns coming. And bishop C1 is also getting the dark bishop to going from a terrible piece to a good piece. And king h1 is still an improving move as the third best. But I brought another knight across, and it's keeping it quite even. It wasn't the best, most powerful move, and it's allowed him to... You really got to think about this. Black wants to lock it up on the king side so he can do that queen side play. Now, for now, the best is knight to c4, which is meeting him on the queen side over there. And bishop f3 is more getting ready for fighting here, but I've brought another knight in, focusing on that pawn. He's advancing on the queen side, I advance on the king side. The computer can't decide who's got the better position at this point. And now, and this is something that I've got to learn. This is where hippo smash harder comes in. It goes to +2 if he's got 2 defenders. I've only got the 1 attacker, but I can open at least a half open file, and I've got other pieces in support. Can move the king forward, get the rook across. I've got to open the door. Hippo needs to smash and open the door. And as you may have guessed, I didn't. I just brought a third piece because of his 2 pieces. But it's never going to be nice and friendly. I should have just, maybe gone down a pawn. I mean, heck. But I should have opened the door. He brings another one back. Still quite even. Let's move 20 and nobody's died yet. I bring the king forward, thinking about getting the rook across. He brings his king forward. I bring a rook across. He brings a rook across. And it's no longer as good as it was prior to... His king was trapping the rook on the other side when it was telling me to open the door to be at +2 to white. But even now it's wanting me to go h takes g5 and just open it and get a fight on that king side, not over on the queen side. And that is the best move, and it's minus 0.3 for me. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. And just on that, looking at he can play c4, Computer's giving an advantage to white with b takes a4. It'll look at, that might be the normal response, but if c4's on the offing, just take the pawn. And that happens over there on the queen side, and then I get my battery at g6. So I've got the queen, the bishop, the knight and the pawn, 4 pieces, all aimed at g6. And now black has 4 pieces aimed at g6. Really should have just opened that door before, but even now, it's just slow. The longer I wait, the worse it gets. But second best is h times g5, opening that door. Should have done it now. But instead, I try, if there's a lesson here, that's a little bit convoluted, too slow, to get a 5th piece aimed at g5. And I can't ignore the queen side and what's going to happen there for that length of time. His king steps out, so the target's not where the attack was going anymore. You'll remember at one point both of those rooks were on the other side of the king when I could have opened the door. So Hulk Hippo needs to smash door a little earlier. And I was probably... And yeah, the eval jumped. Still trying to go through with that plan when the king's already out the door and the queen side's happening. That was a bad move, continuing that knight to the wrong side of the board. He takes, I take, bishop takes, I take, about +1 to black. He takes the bishop, reducing the number of pieces I've got over on the queen side compared to him. And now the knights start to come forward, threatening the rook. Instead of moving the rook, I threaten the queen. Queen comes down. Move the rook out of the way. The rook is protected by the knight. The knight's protected by the pawn. And the best thing I can do, even now, it's not as bad as even -1, is open the door. The move I woulda, coulda, shoulda played for the entire game. From move 19 to we're at move 32, the computer's still telling me to go through with this pawn storm. And that was the worst move of the game. The biggest lesson of the game was open the door, and this was just being out-tacticked. I thought I'll threaten the queen, the rook's protected, and I was all about where the queen can move and not move. But what was that pawn doing? It was the only guard of d3, and not only is d3 therefore winning a pawn, it's forking my king and queen. So, that's almost wind up the white flag there as the eval jumps to 5.1, so we'll just go fairly quickly. I did manage to, because his queen is under threat as well, so by moving the king here, he can get the ladies off, but instead he takes a knight with his queen, which makes sense, which allows me to move the queen and just only go down the minor piece and not lose the queen from that fork. minor piece and an important pawn. So it's still not good. It's minus 5.6. He brings his other knight forward. It does let me throw in a check. My best move is putting in another check. It's still bad news, but he plays. Pin the knight to the queen. He takes the pawn. I take the knight. So he's let me catch up on the piece, but it's going to be madness trying to stop that c-pawn. That was... Other people might have taken my queen and I would have taken back with the bishop, and then I would have had a piece on that pawn when it moved forward. But moving the pawn forward immediately was the way to go. I thought, let's see if I can't get some Hail Mary miracle over in the kingside attack. So move 39, I've played the move that was demanded by the computer at move 19. So, not quite, better late than never, but it was a go. A check. That was quite clever. Let's have a look. King not taking the pawn, which would allow me to throw in a check, but King G6 is his second best move. He's played it. Brought that across. Unfortunate placement of my king here, because if I could just get that one more move, queen here, would be quite a pretty checkmate, and it would be pulling one that I should have lost from nowhere. But 3 was good enough. No checkmate for me. And it's that bad, it's not funny, but knight to c1 would have been a better try at this point to keep that pawn out. Instead I opened it up for the rook, but at least I killed it. And then I shook his hand. So well done 3, and it was open the door. Even at the death knell, it gave me that half chance, hope chance, of getting that pretty checkmate. And I've had that from move 19 to move 39 when it was played. So Hippo needs to open the door. Let's have a quick look at the review. And it was in there that I could have opened that door. Is that around about move 19? Yeah. Bit sad. And we'll have a look in the highlights. He's played a brilliancy in 3 great moves, 76 to 80. The c3 blunder was the blunder. Overall not played that badly, 1700 to 2050. 92% in the opening. The opening's going well, Solomon. So I won the opening again. But in that middle game, that was no doubt where I had to open the door, and then it was just hard work in the end game, and boy did he play the end game well. So that's round 2 of the ANU tournament. Bye for now.